Hi again, assuming you watched the welcome video. If you have not watched the welcome video, hi. Anyway, what I have done here is I have taken the PowerPoint that the company that, does the textbook provided. I then made some adjustments. It's kind of a boring looking thing and kind of text heavy because that's all I've done so far. I haven't made it super cute or anything, and I might not. I have no idea. This is my first time teaching this course for GMC, and I'm trying to do the textbook, trying to do it according to the way the text that they chose goes. And so there you go. But some of this stuff I kind of expanded on because I think you need to know it. This will be the first chapter. I keep getting distracted. I'm so sorry, but I just noticed stuff. Anyway, I should always have like a fidget thing in my hand, and I did have something earlier, and then I don't know where I put it, so I'm just going to play with this thing. Clothespin, that's what it's called. Anyway, this is chapter 1 of your textbook, and basically just an intro. So a lot of this we will go into more depth later, but I wanted to make sure you understood some of the basics of this. Told you, text heavy, kind of ugly. So in 2022, the midterm election results, historical context. I don't know if anybody knew that there were some issues going on, but the 2022 midterm elections ended united government and brought us the gridlock of 2023 and 2024. What I hate is where we ended up. I am going to do my best to remain unbiased and definitely while on video. Anyone who's met me already knows my opinion on a lot of things, and we're going to cover what it means and whatnot, like in class. And yeah, yeah. So 2018, the midterm elections ended the united government with Republican majorities in Congress. So 2022, we had Democrat majority in Congress. 2018, we had Republican majority in Congress. In the Obama presidency in 2010 and the midterms onward, the Republicans controlled at least one house in Congress. Our most current elections have ended it where the Republicans control all which originally everything had been designed to make it not happen. That's why we were supposed to have the checks and balances, but we'll get there. So there you go. Whoa, there we go. Presidential campaigns, history, diversity, and American politics. Well, a bunch of different things are used in order to understand, and I'm going to say, quote, understand the government. Social media and the internet is used a lot right now. Television revolutionized politics because it was able to reach more people and people who didn't read. And of course, images. Radio was the very first medium to transform campaigns. That's when you started having the advertisements, because again, it went for the people who didn't read. Newspapers, not everybody reads newspapers, but that is how way back in the day, most thing was done. Now, I added social media again at the bottom with exclamation points and all in red, because social media has changed the entire field. And you can see this in a number of ways. It's kind of scary. And in class, we'll talk more about the social media thing and the popcorn brain, which is that whole rapid fire and not holding onto topics for any length of time. And fact checking, dude, so many people will not do any fact checking, and that's terrifying. Debates over diversity in American politics. We've got the unique role of diversity in democracy, growing diversity, and concepts of controlling government and politics. So these are all topics that are coming. Forms and functions of government. We've got government and anarchy, social contract and the rule of government, authority and democracy, and then other forms of government. So I figured we should break these down. That was a lot of information for one slide. So here we go. Pretty sure most of you know what government is, but the official definition is right here. Collection of public institutions in a nation that establish and enforce the rules by which the members of that nation must live. And without government, society would be in a state of what is called anarchy. Anarchy is lawlessness and discord in the political system. Anarchy does not mean chaos. It can mean chaos, but it does not have to mean chaos. Anarchy also does not have to mean violence. It can, but it doesn't have to. Anarchy is one of the most misused words when it comes to politics. So we will be going further into this down the road. Social contract. This is an agreement people make with one another to form a government and abide by its rules and laws. So it's not that you've officially signed the contract, but it's kind of agreed upon. I guess an example of a social contract would be when you're driving down the road and you see the speed limit sign of 55. You know you're supposed to go 55. You know that if you're going higher than 55, you're probably going to get in trouble because you broke the speed limit. But most people around you are not like honking and screaming at you. It's, you know, you're just doing it. You're just kind of fudging the rule, the law a tad. I could probably come up with a better example, but that was what popped into my head right now. Authority. Ability of public institutions and the officials within them to make laws. It is not the power to execute them. It is just the ability to make the laws. People obey the authority out of respect, or obey power out of fear. So that actually kind of works with my speeding thing, because when you notice that there's a cop up ahead, you always hit the brakes, right? Which, by the way, don't do that. Don't do that, because if anyone's behind you, when they see you hit the brakes, it's obvious that you are speeding. If you just lift your foot off the gas pedal and kind of coast a tiny bit, it works better. Democracy, that's supposedly what we have here. Democracy is derived from the Greek, and it literally means rule by the people. So the US is based upon supposedly a democracy, which is where everybody is given a voice. You're supposed to be able to vote for who you think will actually be a better leader. We are supposed to elect our representatives, who then elect the higher up. Yeah, that's pretty much the basis. Then we have these other three governments. We've got the, I'm going to butcher it, oligarchy, theocracy, and monarchy. The oligarchy is a small exclusive class. These are going to be the ones who basically they're going to do what they want to do because it's what's best for them and they hold the most power. Yeah, I have a lot to say on this one. Okay, theocracy, this is where a particular religion or faith plays the dominant role. It points out here, Iran is just one example of this. This is one of the ones I'm having an issue with currently in our country, because the United States was based on freedom of religion. We are supposed to have government and religion separated because we're a democracy, not a theocracy. Our country was based on you are free to pursue whichever religion or no religion that you want. And currently it's being pushed towards one specific religion, which is 100% against how the United States was founded. And that bothers me. And then monarchy. This is where one person exercises supreme authority. And I have a lot to say on this one too. We will just say most people end up thinking of England for this one, with the Queen, who is now passed, so now they have a king. But there are other issues. So then we also have authoritarian, and then we have different characteristics. So authoritarian, a lot of them have authoritarian. This is where there's one political party or group or person who has complete and utter control over the nation. even if the nation is trying to say no, it doesn't matter. This authoritarian takes over. This is very good. I mean, it tells you North Korea or Russia. I'm going to use Russia as an example. You have the dude running Russia who eliminates basically his competition and jails people who don't agree with him. That's scary. And yeah, more to say on that in class on Monday. Characteristics of government. Power is one. Power is the capacity to get individuals to do something that they may not otherwise do, like paying your taxes, stopping at the red lights, that kind of stuff. This is characteristic of any government. You have to have the power to exercise authority over the people in order to enact your rules, basically. Legitimacy. This is the sustained power of any government. You have to have the legitimacy, like why you are exercising this power. Do you have the authority to exercise this? So by saying I would like to receive some government benefits like Social Security when I get older, they have the power to take that money out of my account. So then when I'm older, I can take it back. So kind of like a forced retirement fund, even though it's not enough for you to actually retire on. That's pretty much that. So the legitimacy is basically showing that the government is worthy enough to do this. Okay, American government and politics. Who gets what, when, and how? That's the politics of it. The government in the United States is rather complex. We will be talking about that throughout this term. We will discuss the difference between legitimacy and natural rights and talk about the U.S. Constitution, and then we will cover the preamble to the U.S. Constitution. The U.S. Constitution is one of those things that cracks me up on a regular basis on the fact that I will have heard people complain that you can't just change the Constitution, but that's legit what the amendments are, is because when the Constitution was written, it was a totally different type of world out there, and amendments were made in order to better care for the people of the United States of America. Because back in the day, white man was the only person who mattered. And so then amendments were made to the Constitution to say non-white is also important and women are also important. And so we do make amendments to the US Constitution, but it tends to be to make a better country for all, not to just add more rules to, well, I don't know. We'll talk more about that. Preamble of the US Constitution. It's something I think everybody should always remember. And I hear it in my head from Schoolhouse Rock. So it's we the people of the United States, in order to form a more perfect union, establish justice, ensure domestic tranquility, provide for the common defense, promote the general welfare, and secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves and our posterity, do ordain and establish this Constitution for the United States of America. And if you care about this country at all, this right here should give you goosebumps. You should look through this multiple times, because it's all about justice. It's about tranquility. It's about welfare. It's taking care of the general welfare. That means take care of our own people. It means take care of everyone here, not only the people who have a buttload of money. Secure the blessings of liberty to ourselves. That means freedom, not rules, more and more rules. This means freedom for whichever religion you so see fit, freedom to read books, freedom to be yourself. These are huge. This is literally what our country was started on, and it's what made the United States the United States. All right, American government and politics. Constitutional concepts. We're going to be going over all these: the popular sovereignty, the representative democracy, and the direct democracy. Legitimacy and majority rule. public support to specific purposes, and disagreement with constitutional ideals. That one happens a lot. So governments in the United States, we have one federal government, but we have 50 state governments. Then we have 313 county governments, 19,522 municipalities, 13,051 school districts, 16,364 townships, and 37,203 special districts. That means we have 89,204 different governments throughout the United States. It is not as clear-cut as we got a president. There's much more to it. Part of why my personal belief is anyone who runs for presidency should actually truly understand how the government works and how it's supposed to work and why it is supposed to work that way. Something in order to protect the United States as the United States was supposed to be. The American political culture, poof, goodness, will we be talking about this. The political culture are the core values about the role of government among citizens. We have proven that this country right now is split almost down the center of what we count as core values. United States, no common ancestry. The only native people for the US, the ones who can say we are true Americans, are the Native Americans, the indigenous people who lived here before we came here. The entire United States was based on immigration. And that is part of why, yes, I will go off on a tangent a lot when people bring immigrants into the argument about the US. That is legit what the US was founded on. The US used to be such a beautiful idea that immigrants looking for a better life would come. Currently, if you contact people from other countries, that is not how the US is looked at anymore. We are actually looked at as a much less developed country. And if you start looking around and traveling, you'll understand why. And we will 100% cover this in class. We have our typology of the American political culture. We've got the individualistic, the moralistic, and the traditionalistic. So we will cover all of these in class. And I'm coming back to that one in just a moment. American political culture, diversity of the U.S. population, the rise of the Latino population, the U.S. diversity and source of strength, government discriminative policies, and individualism-oriented culture. So again, this is like a highlights reel of what's coming throughout the term. There's one that I like to show. This one gets me right here. Individualism as a value in the United States compared to other democracies. The red shows how many thought the freedom to pursue your own life goals were more important. The green are how many thought that the state should make sure that nobody is in need. This makes me sad. This means only 35% of our country really cared about making sure that other people were okay. I have a hard time with this because my personal belief is people are more important than things. And wow. So just wow. Would you agree that success in life is determined by forces outside of our control? So the US mostly believes that it's not outside your control. So this is still the one that gets me right here. Is American democracy in decline? Oh, dude, you know we're talking about this in class. Decline of the United States as an economic superpower, death of capitalism, policy paralysis caused by partisan gridlock, and has money ruined American politics? Oh, we will 100% talk about that one. I'll just give you a highlight on that one. Have fun and look up how much Elon Musk donated to the presidential campaign and how much Elon Musk owns and how much it would cost to basically take care of everybody in this country, their medical needs. Musk has the money where he could honestly do something good and take care of every single American. Didn't happen. I have some issues, like some serious issues. No matter who you voted for, that one's something there though. I wish people cared more about people, you know? 10 largest national economies. I think this is the debt. US is not doing so hot. Do these problems really signify a decline? Well, at the moment, the United States is still listed as an economic superpower, and it's mostly because a lot of money is, like other countries, their currency is based on the US dollar. Capitalism is not dead. God knows it's not dead. It seems to be alive and thriving. Influence of money does not end politics, no, but it sure as heck does buy a lot. And so we're having some issues. So that is it for this one. So what I am going to do is come back to this one. Your in-class assignment. Take a look at this. Do you find yourself more of an individualistic person, moralistic, or traditionalistic? Which one of these three do you find yourself identifying with the most and why? Very important for you to tell me why and not just meh. And you can't say, I've never thought about it, because your task right now is to think about it. So again, your in-class assignment is pick which of those three you most identify with and explain to me why. There is no wrong answer because this is your own view, your own opinion, your own thoughts. So you can't be wrong. Do not try to figure out what I want you to say. I want to know truly which one matches you the most at this particular moment and why. So that is your in-class assignment. And that's pretty much it. Don't forget to do the in-class assignment, and I will see you in class on Monday. So peace out.